simple because this story is out of control. So I want to come to you guys simple, white tee, bonnet on. You know the bonnet is not going nowhere. If you know me, I love me some bonnets. They will never go nowhere, okay? And if you're wondering why I have these skinny ass shades on my face, it's because I'm trying to be inconspicuous. I'm trying to be incognito. I'm trying to be undercover. Well, I was about 17, 18 at the time. I ran into this guy that I knew growing up. Well, I knew of. I didn't really know him personally, but people that I knew him. He was from a few towns over, so we didn't live in the same town. We didn't run in the same exact circles, but he did know a lot of the people that I grew up with. I'm not gonna say his name, so I'm gonna just call him that guy. Okay? So that guy one day crossed paths with me, and you know, he was like, oh, like I haven't seen you in mad long, like where you been, how you been? So I'm like, oh, like, you know, I've been chilling, working, you know, just trying to get my thug thizzle on, like, you feel me? Like, trying to just make it out here in these streets, you know? So he was like, you know, I feel you, whatever. And he was like, is it cool if I hit you up later on Facebook or whatever? Because I didn't want to give him my number, so I told him just hit me on Facebook or whatever. So he was like, I bet. So he found me on Facebook, he added me, and I accepted his request, and he hit me up. We started talking. It was real regular, like just catching up basically on things that we didn't catch up in person, because we had like a real quick conversation because I was on my way to go do something. So I was like, quick conversation, hey, hi, bye type thing, whatever. So, you know, I asked him if he's single. He was like, yeah, I'm single. He's like, what about you? And I'm like, I wouldn't be talking to you if I wasn't. Like, you know, so then he was like, I feel you. And he wanted to schedule a day to meet up. So I told him like, you know, sure, we can meet up or whatever. And he was like, you smoke, you drink? And I was like, I'm not really a drinker. I was like, but I do smoke. So he was like, I bet. So he's like, I'm gonna pull up on you and I'm gonna roll up. So I'm like, okay, cool, like free weed. You feel me? Who's gonna turn down free weed? If you're a pothead and you smoke like me, free weed is like one of the best things in the world. That's like free food. That's like somebody offering to buy you food or to take you out to eat on their expense. So somebody rolling you up, you know how expensive weed can be? That's like another bill. Anyways, so he pulls up on me, we smoke, we talk, we chat. We actually found out that we have a lot in common. You know, and we also found out that we're actually the same sign, and our birthdays are like a few days apart from each other, something like that. So it was really cool, because I'm like, okay, like we do kind of share the same kind of traits or whatever. I'm not big on the whole sign thing, but it'd be some truth to those sign things. So yeah, so after that day, I didn't talk to him for like I think a day or two, and then he hit me up and he was like, oh, what you doing? I was like, I'm at work, because that day I was at work. And he was like, oh, what happened? He was like, oh, is it cool if I pull up on you later, like after you get off? But at the time, like, I usually close. Like, whenever I have a job, I usually work the midday to closing shift, because I'm a night owl. I will have energy for the night shift, for morning shifts. I'm not really a morning person, so I don't really like getting up to go anywhere in the morning. Like, I really gotta like adjust. Like, I gotta reboot myself for the day in the morning. So yeah. So I told him like, nah, because you know I get off late. I want to go home. I want to go to sleep. Like, you know, I was like, but I'm off the next day. So I was like, you can like come hang out with me or whatever. So he was like, okay, cool. The next day come, I forget that I was even supposed to see this man, okay? I forgot that he was even on schedule. Like, you feel me? Like, and I had made commitments to smoke with a few of my friends. So we was gonna all save together. And mind you, the whole day went by. I didn't hear from him. I didn't talk to him. So he was really out of sight, out of mind. Like, people probably like, how did you forget? It was literally the next day. But it's like, when you have a conversation like that, like, oh yeah, we're gonna hang out this, that, and third, and then the next day you got mad stuff going on and you got people hanging you up and making plans with you. If the person you made plans with the day before is not hitting you up and you're not really on them anyway, like, it doesn't really matter if you see them or not, stuff like that will slip your mind because they're not of importance in your head. Like, you feel me? So he pulls up. It's probably like 8 at that time. I think it had to be like 8, maybe 7 going on 8. And he pulls up. Mind you, I'm about to go smoke with my friends outside. So he pulls up. He's like, yo, what's up? He calls me over to the car. And I'm like, I forgot you were supposed to come. And he was like, how you forget? And I'm like, nah, it's not like I forgot because I just forgot. It's because, like, we wasn't staying in communication. Like, we wasn't communicating. So it slipped my mind. So then he was like, all right, so what you about to do? So I was actually about to smoke with my friends. Is it cool if we all smoke together? Like, they got weed, you got weed. I don't have weed on me right now, but you know, whatever. So he was like, yeah, alright. So we're smoking, my friends are in the car, we smoking. One of my other friends, she FaceTimed me and she's like, what you doing? So I tell her, like, I'm hanging out with that guy and my other friends. And then she was like, oh, do you think you could, like, pick up my sister? So I'm like, she works at the mall, right? And she was like, yeah. I'm sorry, I can't talk out, but she was like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, what time she get off? So she was like, hold on, I'm gonna find out. So she hits up her sister. Her sister's like, oh, I'll be out by 10. So at that time, it was probably like a good, maybe 30 minutes to like 10. It was like 9 something, I think. Yeah, it was like close to the time by the time she hit me up. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can get that guy to drive up there. So I told him. He said, yeah, but I had to drive because he didn't know shorty. He didn't want to just pull up on her, pick her up. But I was like, it's not a big of a deal because, like, whatever. So I get in the driver's seat. Mind you, I don't have my license at this time, right? But at the time I was driving, I was, on the road driving. I just didn't have my L's. So we drive and we're smoking as we're driving. Now, for my adults, okay? Do not drive while intoxicated. Do not drive under no influence, whether it be drinking, smoking, or whatever the case may be. Do not drive under the influence. Even if you think you can, do not do it because it's really dangerous and it's against the law and nobody wants those tickets, including me. So, but at the time, being young and dumb and just adventurous, I was like, you know what, we're gonna do it. And me knowing me, I can't drive high. I can't function. I can barely talk high. Like, I wanted to make this video high, but I realized if I made this video high, I wouldn't even get through it. So I'm gonna wait until after the video. But yeah, so we're driving, we're smoking. I'm getting smacked in the front seat, like, driving. Don't get me wrong, I'm driving perfect. I'm in the lanes, I'm not swerving or nothing. But I ended up missing my exit to get to her job. So I had to do improvisation. Like, I had to improv. I had to figure something out so this I wouldn't get on the parkway, because at the time I was not big on the parkway. I was still scared to drive on the parkway. So I did like an illegal U-turn on like one of those freeway streets, and it had the sign and everything like, do not make a U-turn here, and I still did it. And the way it was, like, the street was so narrow that when I went to go do the U-turn, it wasn't enough space to make a full U-turn, so I had stopped in the middle of the street on the side where the cars is coming towards the car. So everybody in the car started flipping out, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, relax, I know what I'm doing. Mind you, in my head, I'm freaking the fuck out with myself, because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, but, you know, I'm telling everybody, like, relax, I got this. Like, it's me. Like, relax. So I'm in my zone at this point. I'm like backing up, driving forward, backing up, driving forward, backing up, and driving forward. And he's just like looking at me like, are you dead ass? He's just looking at me like he could not believe the shit he was seeing. And I started, like, I don't know why, but I have these weird, like, little things I do. So like, randomly, I just started humming. Like, I was just like, and he was like, are you humming? Like, he just got mad. He raised his voice. He's like, yo, pull over. He said, it only got perfect, just pull over. So I pulled over to the side of the street. He's like, get out, let's switch. We get out the car. As we're crossing paths, he's just looking at me like, and he was like, never again. So we pull up, we pick my friend's sister up, and we drop her off, and then we drop my other friends off. And then he was like, are you going inside? And I was like, not, like, if you still want to hang out, like, we can still hang out, like, the night is young, like, I'm not tired or whatever. So he was like, alright, bet. So he pulls over to this little low spot, like, not too far from my house, probably like a couple blocks away from my crib. And okay, these fucking shades is killing my eyeballs. Okay, so he pulls to like a couple blocks away from my crib, and he's like, you want to get in that back seat? So I'm like, for what? What are we in the back seat for? And he was like, because I want to taste it. I said, how do you? How do you? You wanna, what you wanna taste? Like, so, you know, I have my happy ass back in the back seat. And, you know, he lights the L that he rolled up. We passing it back and forth. And then he hands it to me. He was like, keep it, smoke it. So I'm like, okay. I'm gonna keep it and I want to smoke it. He pulls me closer to him. Like, he's sitting sideways, like me facing y'all. And then I'm facing this way. And he like pulled me like down more to like closer to him. So they, you know, I ain't gonna get too graphic, but baby Bubba, he did the damn thing, okay? You feel me? He went to work. And looking back, I'm real disappointed in myself. And I'm gonna get to why I feel disappointed in myself. But yeah, so he did his thing. We ended up having sex as well. And that was the end of that. We went home, his face was wet, I was satisfied, and yeah, went to sleep. So after that, I didn't talk to him for like a few days. I can't really remember why, but I just know that I didn't hit him up, and I don't believe he hit me up either, but it was fine because I I wasn't really into him anyway. It was just kind of like a placeholder situation for me. Like, you know, like, oh, something to do to pass the time. Not trying to be cocky, not trying to be foul or anything, but that's just really how I felt about the situation. Like, it was nothing serious to me. It was just something to pass the time. So yeah, so a few days go by. My friend and I go to her sister's house, the one that asked me to put her friend up. I mean, her sister up. So we go to her sister's house and we're all chilling. We're hanging out, we're smoking. And she brings up the night that I had picked her up with that guy. So she goes, I didn't know you mess with that guy. And I was like, yeah, like, you know, he cool. We talking, like, ain't nothing serious though. And she was like, oh, okay. And you know when people do that little, okay, like, they got some shit to say. So I'm like, why you say it like that? Goes, oh, you don't know that that guy is accused of sleeping with transgenders and boys. So I'm like, wait, what? So I'm like, now mind you, I've heard this stuff before about that guy, right? But there was no hard evidence, there was no proof. So it's like, I'm not just gonna take people's word for it without any proof, because, you know, like, people will say anything about anybody. You feel me? For any reason, whether they don't like you, whether they mad at you, whatever the case may be, they will make stuff up or take stuff that they heard, rumors or whatever, and then spread it, and then, you feel me? So there was never really any proof to back it up. So when she said it to me, I'm like, never. And she was like, yeah. So at the time in my head now, my head is going like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, did you just sleep with a gay man? Like, is he really undercover? Like, you kissed him. Does that mean you kissed every nigga's ass that he probably ate? Like, you feel me? Like, did he eat ass? Like, do he eat ass? Because he didn't eat my ass. So I'm thinking, like, does he eat ass? Because if he did, why didn't he eat my ass? Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyways, so after that conversation, right? I go back home. A few days later, I get a text message from him, and he's like, can we link? I want to see you. I haven't heard from you, and I want to see you. So I'm like, I was a little skeptical, because I was like, that conversation I had a couple days before with my friend's sister, I was just like, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I don't know. I mean, one time, you know, it can kind of be overlooked, but 2 times, especially after you was warned, could look real suspicious. You feel me? So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, dumb bitch. Because again, there's no proof. There's no proof backing up anything that he was accused of. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just hang out with him. He's cool. Boom, bam, the wop. We go to our secret spot again, and we fuck. He gives me head. He asked for head. I declined it because I was like, I don't know where that dicky dude been. So I'm like, I ain't really gonna put my mouth on that thing, but you know, you feel me? Like, thanks for the head though. So then he, you know, straps up with this little condom on, whatever. And when I say little, I mean little, cause his pinga wasn't really big. It was like average. It was below average. It was probably like a 6.3. I'm not even gonna lie, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but you know, but at the end of the day, it's not about the size of the boat, it's about the motion in the ocean. But the size is a good thing too. But I mean, hey, the head combination with the, you know, it did the job. It got me to where I needed to be. So I wasn't complaining, you know. But maybe that's probably why his head was so good. That's probably why. That makes sense. Yeah. The last time that I slept with him. And the last time I had talked to him, After that, it kind of just went kind of like ghost on both ends. I just didn't feel right. Like after that second time, I just was like, girl, maybe you shouldn't have done it, because maybe what was said is true. So if it is true, that means you just slept with an undercover brother, like, and we don't know if he is the top or the bottom at this point. So I'm just like, you feel me? So a couple weeks go by. Supposedly he gets into an argument with his BM, and she's posting online about him having chlamydia and some other stuff or whatever. So my cousin, who knew of the situation with me and the guy, she comes to me and she's like, basically like, go get checked, da 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 da, all this other stuff. Now mind you, I had previously just went and got tested twice because of some other allegations that we're not going to talk about in this video, but I might do a story time on that too, because yeah, it was kind of wicked. But yeah, so I had previously already gone to the doctors to get my checkup and everything, got tested for everything, and everything was negative. So when she came to me and she was like, yeah, you need to go get your da-da-da. So I'm like, I'm good. I'm already good. I don't know about none of that's going on over there, but over here, baby, is good. Everything over here is good, okay? So she's like, okay, you sure? And I was like, I'm positive. Trust me, baby. I'm positive. So she was like, okay, just, you know, be careful. She was like, because these niggas out here is crazy. And I was like, yeah, very. So mind you, it still hasn't been confirmed whether he had any of that or whatever. It was just accusations once again. Okay, so, and plus, you know, me and him use protection anyway, so I mean, it's not 100%, but it gives you a pretty good damn chance of not getting nothing and no pregnancies, okay? Because we ain't having no babies over here. Thank you. So yeah, so a couple days, you know, go by, this, that, and third. I'm not thinking about him, not talking to him. He hit me up a few times, but I kind of like left him on red because of everything that was just going on. I was just like, it's too messy. Like, I don't got time for none of that. So I think, I want to say like a month went by, and my friend, she hits me up. One of my friends hit me up, and they like, yo, I gotta tell you something, but you can't say nothing. So I was like, ooh, what you gotta tell me? Because you know I love the tea. I love the tea. Just I love to sip the tea. Honey, tell me. So she was like, girl, I don't know if you're gonna like this one. So I'm like, wait, what? It's about me? And she was like, nah, not per se, but it's about somebody you previously had talked to. So I'm like, who? And she was like, the guy. And I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on now? And she tells me that he slept with one of my friends, and it ain't a girl. I'm gonna just let that sizzle in y'all spirit for a little bit. I'm gonna just let that marinate on the brain. I said he slept with a friend, and the friend wasn't a girl. So after that, she goes into details, and she tells me that the friend told her he picked him up. Well, yeah, picked him up and told him to bend over and spread his cheeks and ate it from the back. Crazy. He told him to bend over. He spreaded the cheeks and ate it. Crazy. So, you remember earlier in the story how I said when they brought it up, I was just in my head like, is he eating ass cheeks? Well, yeah, he's eating them like fucking Krabby Patties, bitch. Like the episode with Squidward was eating all the fucking Krabby Patties behind that vote. That's him. That nigga was out there munching on ass. And I kissed him. Oh my goodness. When I tell you I brushed my teeth, my lips, mouthwash, flossed, put a little peroxide in that bitch too. I was just so disgusted. I'm like, you dead? And she was like, yeah, like, you know, so and so would not lie about that. Like, and the way it was described, it was like, you know, it's true. Like, this cannot be made up. Like, it was too much detail down to the fucking car. Down to the fucking car. The crime scene. And I talked to him. I blocked him after that. I didn't talk to him. Some time had passed. And his BM approaches me. And she approaches me with my cousin. And she's like, are you messing with so-and-so? Are you messing with my baby father? And I was like, I did mess with him at a point. I was like, but do I mess with him now? No. So she was like, are you really gonna say in my face right now that you messed with my man? With my baby father, the father of my children? Yeah. Yeah, I did. You guys aren't together. I don't owe you any loyalty. Like, you're no kin of mine. Like, what? So, and mind you, I said all this shit to her. So, my cousin is standing there and she's just like looking at me, smiling like as if she knew I was gonna say what's what. So she was like, wow, okay. She was like, that's okay, because I got my sister for you. So I'm like, okay. Like, you're gonna fight me over a man who isn't with you. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand that whole I'ma fight you over my baby father, even though we not together and we don't even fucking like each other, but I'm still secretly in love with him, so anybody who date him gonna have a problem with me. That's so weird, and it's like really desperate, because I'm not about to fight or argue over no booty eater. I'm not about to argue over no man who's eating boy pussy. I'm sorry, I'm not. It's not happening, okay? Got me fucked up. So, yeah. But that's it. Thank you for watching my video. I have a lot more stories and things to tell you guys and all that good stuff. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And tell a friend to tell a friend.